Welcome to another episode, everyone. Baby Devil from R60's Crip crashed out in the Los Angeles County Jail and left his face missing. Well, the individual who we're going to call Bodie, because he was bold indeed, had approached Baby Devil from R60's, and this was indeed a grand mistake. Baby Devil had taken umbrage to this individual's rhetoric. If you follow the channel here on the Inside Story with me, Damian Porter, subscribe to the channel. If you have not done so, you know that the Los Angeles County Jail is replete with utter gang violence. It runs rampant there. Everyone must stand up for who they are. Everyone that enters the Los Angeles County Jail, or you will be exposed and dealt with accordingly. Thus, if you are not about that life, understand that and recognize that now before you get in there. Don't get in there and find out the hard way that you're really not one of those guys, as Bodie found out. Because him and Baby Devil from R60's were in the cell together at one point, and Bodie is a Crip. Not going to say where Bodie is from, but he's not in opposition to the neighborhood car. In fact, they were all in cahoots together. I must preface the story, I suppose, with saying that Baby Devil has since, according to what I've been told, and I want to be careful with my words and be careful not to put something out there on someone that's untrue, but supposedly he went bad after this. Well, I do know what happened. They had problems getting him off the yard in a penitentiary, Baby Devil. He kept stabbing him up to run him off the yard, but he kept refusing to leave and coming out with his knife and stabbing individuals back. I'll get into that another time. Actually, I got into it a little bit before, nevertheless. So this is what ended up happening with Baby Devil. But at this time, he was venerated by the R60's. He was not an imposter. He was the real Baby Devil from R60's. He and I had become rather close there in the module. This was in 3800. This was some time ago. Baby Devil was facing time, and he was terrorizing the Los Angeles County Jail. He was squabbling all of his oppositions that dared enter the module. He made it explicitly clear that everyone that comes in that is in opposition of any neighborhood group, I'm going to squabble them. And every one of them, because I don't want anyone to ever say that I'm picking and choosing. I only squabble certain ones. Put it out there now. Every one of them that comes in the module, we got to get them up. And he stood on that the entire time. Every one of his oppositions that came into the module, he squabbled them. I bore witness. He referred to me as Big Bro, even though I believe Baby Devil was a bit older than myself. This happens all the time. No big deal. He and I were pretty cool. I liked his style. He reminded me of some crazy type of hoovers who always were extra out, turned up, and represented the hood with everything that they had. Baby Devil was one of these individuals. You and even myself, to my way of thinking now, may find this wrong. These brothers have strong energy and fervor. It's just directed at the wrong people. I now know better, and I direct it towards where it needs to be directed towards. All this is going to ruffle some feathers. Nevertheless, they're in a cell together, and Bodie is a cool individual. He's okay. He tends to mind his business, and so does Baby Devil. one day I go down there to the cell, and Baby Devil simply tells me right there in front of Bodie, he's not whispering, Baby Devil. When I go to the bars, he gets up on the bars, he says, bro, get me out of the cell with this weirdo. He said it right in front of Bodie's face where Bodie can hear him. He said, get me out of the cell with this weirdo before I do something to him. Whoa, strong words. And Bodie, he doesn't even flinch. He doesn't say anything. Now, his life has really just been threatened. Someone says, before I do something to him, it's time to put him down right then and there. When Bodie doesn't make a move, he's not really about that life. Doesn't know where he's at and really who he's dealing with. Because Baby Devil, again, was extremely aggressive, very violent, and he was relentless there in the Los Angeles County Jail. He was taking absolutely no prisoners. I said, okay, bro, I'll get you out of the cell, and I did. I moved him a few cells down. The next day or so, Bodie goes down to Baby Devil, to the cell. First, he says, Bodie, that something is missing from his cell, from his property, his possession. He asks Baby Devil mildly enough, bro, do you have these items? Did you happen to pack them up by accident when you packed up yesterday or whatever, left the cell? So Baby Devil, you're like, bro, are you accusing me of stealing? I don't have to. Now, Baby Devil, he had a lot of stuff. He had his own canteen. He had a lot of stuff. He didn't need to take anything from anyone. He had his own money, his own everything. So he had not taken anything. And Bodie, it seems like, is picking at him. Is picking at Baby Devil. Which was astounding to me because he was just in the cell with you, called you a weirdo, and said he was ready to do something to you, and you didn't do anything. Now, for whatever reason, he's located his balls. Has Bodie. He put an APB out on him. He found him and went down there and approached Baby Devil. He says, no, I'm not accusing you of stealing. I was just asking a question. Baby Devil had clearly taken umbrage to the implication, but he let it go. They were cool for another day or so. And then, out of nowhere, Bodie goes back down to Baby Devil's cell. I bore witness to this myself. I was right there on the tier when they started arguing because Bodie went down there and accused Baby Devil of calling his girl. Says that Baby Devil had gotten the phone number and contacted his girl. He says that his girl says that someone's been calling and hanging up the phone. Listen, I don't know how he believes that this is Devil that's calling and hanging up the phone. So he's not ever saying, whoever's calling this lady is never saying his name. He didn't say, I'm Baby Devil from Rolling 60. Bodie believes, for whatever reason, he believes this unwaveringly, that Baby Devil is the culprit, the individual that has been calling his girl. We know individuals will take your face off dealing with their girls and their wives. And Bodie, he's not a coward. Clearly. Well, I don't know. Actually, he a little soft because he should have did something as soon as Baby Devil said what he said himself. So, but he goes down there. And Baby Devil, he's had enough. He barely even wants to respond to these allegations. He has clearly taken umbrage. And Baby Devil, I was a few cells down, but I hear the fight, I hear the argument. I'm down there talking to the homie. Baby Devil calls me down, big bro. So I go down there. You're like, bro, get my cell hit right now. He telling Bodie, stay right there, stay right there. He tell me, get the cell hit, bro, get the cell hit. Now, Bodie started looking real nervous, shaking even. He understands that he has taken this too far. Perhaps he thought he was going to go down there and get a conversation out of Baby Devil, just annoy him, irritate him for whatever reason. Whatever happened in that cell, it was combustible. Because again, when I went down there, it was very tense. And Devil simply said, get me out of here with this weirdo before I do something to him. So something had went down in there. I never dug deep. I never asked any questions. It wasn't none of my business. Something had went down as to why these two individuals had to separate. And now it's continuing on. Because he's down here irritating Devil, apparently deliberately. But it's not going to end well for him. He hasn't been in the module that long. He doesn't know that Baby Devil at this juncture is not about all of the talking. He just goes live. He gets to business. I've seen this myself on enough occasions to believe in it. He's imploring me, Baby Devil, get my cell hit. Bodie nearly is walking off back to his cell. Perhaps he's going to arm himself. He knows, as I know, as we all know, Baby Devil keeps a knife on him at all times. And he is unafraid to use it. He has proven this. Bodie is now hesitating like, bro, I was just asking. And Baby Devil is telling me, bro, get my cell hit. He's not even acknowledging Bodie anymore. He's not talking to him. He's not looking at him. He doesn't want to talk anymore. He doesn't want to negotiate and talk this out. He doesn't want to resolve it verbally. That time is long gone. He's looking at me only with devilish intentions. He's telling me, big bro, please. I told him, not right now. We can't do it right now. He's like, man, no, man. I'm going to say, bro, not right now, Devil, no. You can't do it right now because the police that was on is not with the business like that. Most of them are. You can come out on a tier in front of the police, get your man and go back in your cell and leave him there leaking on the tier. And no one knows a thing. They have cameras now, not necessarily so. You have to go inside of the cell now, but it used to be right there on the tier, they'll down you and they go back inside of their cell and nothing ever happens to them. But you are left with a lot of holes inside of you. The police that's here now, he's more of a police. And I know that I can't get Baby Devil out of his cell to come right here on the tier because Bodie is on the tier. If you're telling me go to get me out so I can run in someone's cell, I can do that. But right here on the tier, the police who I'm about to have hit your cell, you come out here and stab this dude right now, it's all bad. So I told him, and he like, bro, don't try to stop me. I said, because I used to stop some of these squabbles, even from Baby Devil. He was hell bent on squabbling every opposition, but he respected me enough to when certain ones come in, I say, no, not him though. He's like, bro, I'm squabbling everyone. I'm like, not him though, bro. He not trying to squabble. He ain't got no win, bro. Just let that one go, Baby Devil. Just let that one go. All right, bro, that's only because and he'll let it go. I do the same thing with Porky from Hoover. He's squabbling every opposition that come in here. I used to have to beg him, bro, this one, please, just let this one go, bro. For this reason, that reason. And he'll respect and say, all right. It was hard. These dudes were extremely aggressive and believed in what they believed in with all of their might. I was able to talk them down for the moment. I told him, bro, I'll get you out. I get his cell hit. go in his cell because he's not about to come in here. I wasn't about to try to squash this situation because I don't know what happened in that cell between the two. I respected Baby Devil. And I seen this individual here, down here, annoying and irritating him, apparently, again, deliberately. He was poking the bear for whatever reason, whatever happened in that cell. He was perturbed and was trying to irritate this individual, and it worked. He just didn't expect Baby Devil to react in that way, so viciously, and so violently. But he did. Not long thereafter, when they changed shifts, in fact, I was able to get Baby Devil's cell hit. I let Bodie know this was no sneak attack. You see what happened, bro? He was trying to get me to get him out on the tier right then. I didn't do it, which I'm sure helped you, saved you. You didn't have no knife on you. You back in your cell. You got a chance to arm yourself, whatever you got to do. This is no sneak attack. You know this dude is coming down here. I'm letting you know I'm finna get his cell hit. He coming. He got a problem with you, whatever y'all got going, he want to handle that. But you can't bow down. You can't say, okay, I don't want to squabble. Your career is over. It's that serious. You have to say, all right, bro, we'll squabble up then, whatever. Even though you may be scared to death and don't want to do this. This really seemed to be the case with Bodie. He was hesitant, but he knew he couldn't back out. It's too late now, particularly since you initiated all of this with your rhetoric. I get the cell hit, Baby Devil. He walks down there, stomps the tier. He's upset. He doesn't say a word. He's not talking. Those days are done. I get Bodie's cell hit. I'm right there on the tier looking against the wall. Baby Devil run up in there and immediately whip out. Immediately. He waited till he got inside the cell. He didn't have it out on the tier. He waited till as soon as he got inside the cell and the bars closed, he whipped out a big old thing. A burner, a blicky. I know it. I know he had one. He's not going out there to squabble this dude. Whatever happened, man, these dudes, they have a lot of acrimony between the two of them. And Devil is about to even the score. He's about to settle it. I said, whoa, man down. Because it was too big. It was a huge, and I know how aggressive Devil is. And holding true to that, he attacked him immediately with no hesitation. With that thing, started swinging it at him, and calling him out his name at the same time. You bitch, who you think you? And dude is basically hollering, Bodie. And Devil took it and scraped a big part of his face like a fish. Like a piece of his skin was hanging off. His face was missing. He didn't poke him. He deliberately put it there a certain way and cut up to bring off a piece of his skin. It was sitting there hanging off his cheeks. Wow. It was leaking. It was gross. It was a grotesque sight. Dude, Bodie immediately grabbed his face and hit the ground and was down there leaking. I said, this is bad. This is bad. I started regretting the whole thing, regretting getting these dudes' cell hit. I'm like, man, if this dude die, I'm going to be in trouble somehow too. Because I didn't get the cells hit. I helped this whole thing go down. But that's what I was in there. That was my job. That's how I was. Anyway, he down there leaking bad. He needed medical attention. And at that time, when he hit the ground, Baby Devil got over there and got on top of him and had the thing up like this. And I called him out. I said, oh, man, I said, devil, devil. No, no. He turned around. I called his name. This sinister look in his eyes scared me even. I said, bro, no, 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 no. Like he snapped out of it. He just stopped. I was thankful because if he'd have hit the dude again, he would have kept going. Dude he'd have been deleted. It was over. He had no chance. He was incapacitated already. He was immobile down there on the ground. He was still able to hold his face, trying to hold it together and trying to stop the bleeding. A couple of his cellies got over there, put towels on his face, and was trying to stop the bleeding. And I'm like, his cellies like, man, we got to get him to medical. First, I got Devil out of the cell, cracked his cell, got Devil back down in his cell. Dude's still down here leaking. This is not really anything new in the county jail. Since Devil had just went down there and I got a cell hit and he just left out, I can't get him to medical right now. I've got to let this whole thing die down unless the dude is dying. And I'm telling him that. I'm like, Bodie, bro, you go to medical right now, bro. They going to get Devil. They might come get me because you ain't looking good right now. And this ain't just, wait till they change shifts at least, till these police get up out of here. We got to come up with something about what happened to you. You're like, all right, bro, that's cool. Because the bleeding started to slow down some. It's like some skin hanging. And he did eventually go to medical and they patched him up. He left. And that was that. That was crazy thinking about that story right there. It brought back some emotions for me too. Just seeing some of the stuff in there was gory, and I did try to stop a lot of it, and I was able to stop a lot of the violence in the county jail because it's not good. The violence is not good. As it relates to us, as it relates to the brothers. Human beings, period. I don't want to see anyone hurt or injured. I deplore violence. I hate it. I hate seeing people injured and bleeding. I hate it. With my heart, I hate it, bro. So I'm not with that. I only get violent when it's very necessary. Other than that, I denounce it. We've had enough violence amongst ourselves all of our time here in this country. It's been nothing but violence for us. We need peace and love, man. We need peace and love. Brothers need to know that they are loved. Sisters need to know that they're loved because they receive so much hate. They need to know that they are loved. People get on me all the time when I show love to my people. Like I'm racist or I'm this and that. The story's over. There's some whole other stuff. That was it. Bodie got stabbed up, face missing. He left up out of there. That was it. So now, let me know what you think in the comments. All right. Now I'm just saying that, hey, they accuse me of being racist and this and that all the time because I may say something about my people or whatever. But my thinking is real simple. I'm just going to leave you all with this so you understand where I'm coming from. At least some of the way. You'll learn more as we go along about who I am and my character and where I'm coming from as it relates to some of these issues here in the country, these racial issues and such. But the primary thing, to my way of thinking, Black people have received so much hatred in the world and continue to. I mean, we are really a despised people, the most despised people in the history of the earth. And it rears its ugly head every day in some way in this country and all around the world. People expose how they really feel about me and my people daily. The hatred is so strong, they can't help it. it comes out of them some way. These videos go viral, it comes out. Judges, doctors, lawyers getting caught on video saying the N-word, despising us. Black women had to have a law made in order to wear their own hair or to wear braids or whatever at work. They had to pass a law because they are so hated and despised and discriminated against in this world. So I just simply believe that since we receive so much hate, and that I need to show love. I need to show my people another side. When they see me, they need to see love coming from me. And when we see each other, we need to see love coming from one another because we see so much hate coming from everyone else. We're told every day that we're nothing. So I have to let my people know that we are something and that they are loved. No one has a problem. No one calls out the fact that my people are so despised in this country and so hated. No one has a problem with that. But everyone has a problem with me showing love to my people. You don't have a problem with the individuals, even black individuals, who show hatred towards other black people. You only have a problem with individuals who love their people. If I hated my people, you would venerate me because you hate them too. But since I love them, you despise that because you despise them and don't believe that they are worthy of love, that they are only worthy of hatred. I know better. I know different. And I want them to know different, and I want them to know better. So I just remind them of the kings and queens that they are, and that they are so loved. In this world, they are so loved by me, and for good reason. They are so loved, so much so, I love them so much that I'm willing to lie down my life for them. If it means that they'll be free. And if you can't get with that, this is not the place for you. Because that's what it has always been, and that is what it will always be. You're not going to break me. You're not going to change me. You're not going to convince me with a cogent argument to speak or go against black people. Ever. You call me what you want, say what you want, do what you want. I'm going to write, fight, and die for these people. I promise you. Like the great Fred Hampton would say when he would gather the Black Panthers together. And they would march in unison and talk in unison there in the morning. And Fred Hampton, Chairman Fred, who the government viciously, deliberately murdered, because the government is a murderous government. The country was born on violence, and it remains so today. He would line the soldiers up, the Black Panthers. He would say, how are we going to die? We not going to die slipping on no rock. How are we going to die? And they will all yell back at the same time in unison. For the people. Why are we going to die? For the people. I'm not going to die in a car accident. I'm not going to die from a drug overdose. I'm not going to die slipping on a banana peel. Going to die for the people. Huey P. Newton said at the Revolutionary Memorial for Comrade George Jackson, who was viciously murdered in Soledad Prison, he said that we all know We know that we all are going to die. Referring to Brother George Jackson. We know that we all are going to die. Wait until you find out that everyone listening right now is going to die. A harsh reality. Better live your life now. We know that we all must go. But there are two kinds of death, he said. The reactionary death and the revolutionary death. One death is significant and the other is not. This is what he said. There are two kinds of death. The reactionary death, and I can break down exactly what he means by that, and the revolutionary death, and I can break down exactly what he means by that. One death is significant, and I can break down exactly what he means by that, and the other death is not significant, and I can break down exactly what he means by that. So we're all going to go. Choose how you're going to go and why. I've made my decision. If you don't like it, I don't know what to tell you. I've made my decision. I'm going for my people. The revolutionary death I choose. That one is significant. The others are not. If you can't get with that, you can't get with me. You need to get out of here. Woo, this just took some. I was here to tell a story about baby devil. Damn. How the hell did I get on this? I don't know how I got here, bro. Someone irritated me or something. Oh, man. This is nasty work. Now, let me get out of here, man. I don't even know how I ended up on this. Jeez. I forgot how I got here. I'm going to go back and look and see how I even got here. I was about to get on one. Damn. Let me stop. Because this was about baby devil. Power to the people, though. I love my people. I guess that's how we got on there. But I love everybody. You know, my brown brothers as well. We've been getting into it. Things ain't been right. A lot of conversations been going on. Need to put this nonsense down. Finally, for the first time in history, and really come together. That's what we're going to do. Understand that the fight is not with one another. It just is not. It's not with poor white people either, or non-racist white people. They are victims of this system as well, of this racist system. They are victims of this racist system. White supremacy does not benefit them. If you understand the tenets of white supremacy, you'll know that. Nevertheless, that's a whole nother conversation, which I'm going to have to start getting into this. Obviously, I have to get some of this stuff off of my chest. The hell with that. Let me know what you think in the comments. My bad, y'all. Stay safe and stay free, people.